Hello, Guru Nation. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining. And today's a very special day here in Yuma at Yuma Clinical Trials. We've got Daisy, who you've seen on before. She's on week 3. Week 3, right?
Week
You
3.
like it so far?
Yes, I love it.
Already has ups and downs.
It's stressful at times, but it's fun.
Fun
you
stress.
learn a lot.
Fun stress. And we have a monitor here. And when they told me somebody's here that's a monitor, and they told me her name, Sandra, I was like, oh, no, she didn't. Oh, no, she didn't. But it's not her. It's this Sandra.
It's the good Sandra.
How's it going, this Sandra?
Good. It's amazing. It's so good to be here.
So Sandra's a monitor. She's been in this industry for quite some time. Her LinkedIn will be underneath this video. You need to go connect with her. You guys need to network more. Same thing with Daisy. This is perfect because you're like somebody established in this industry. You happen to be living in Yuma. We're going to get to your background right now. And Daisy's relatively new to research. Not that new, but new at the site level, like the smaller site level. She comes from a big AMC. And I thought it was cool to like interview all three of you informally, just to like, because you're passionate about mentorship.
Yes.
Which, first of all, we need to find out, like, why? Why are you passionate about mentorship? Most people, when they know something, they're not passionate about mentorship. It's like they're just keeping themselves busy.
Right.
Like, why, Sandra? You seem like a very nice person.
Right now? Well, just to answer that question right away is like, yeah, absolutely. I think once somebody knows something, their go-to is maybe to, check the box and move on. But what it really is about is like sharing that information and like growing as a team or as a community, especially with those in research. The stronger and the more there are and more knowledge, with a stronger knowledge base, we can be better performers, we really make change. And so it's like, yeah, once you know something, you want to share it with someone. And I think that's where mentorship comes from. And it's just happened to be something that I'm super duper passionate about. And I just want to meet people in the field and educate or help out, fill in the gaps.
That's awesome.
And from all aspects, from like everyone, all the players in the game. So like the community, people who have no idea about research, even though they might not understand what I'm coming at them about, you take your steps and there's different approaches and paces that you take with different people. So for that, it's fun because as a mentor, you get to, it's different. Every person is different. Every way they learn is different. So it's like the possibilities are endless.
And we're going to get into it, like your background, how you got into clinical research.
Sure.
But her LinkedIn's underneath, so she said she wants to mentor, so you guys, you're going to get hit up by a lot of people.
I'm gonna hit her.
Daisy's going to hit you up. But Daisy, work here, okay? Come on, calm down, work here.
I'll come to you, Daisy. Don't worry.
You're just getting started, Daisy. Calm down. Okay, so we'll give Daisy some tips here, but I wanted to get like your background a little bit. How did you get started in research, and what's your background?
Okay, so my background is definitely the sciences. You mentioned biotech. Biotech is huge for me because it was like the door that allowed me to think about research, to think about what my future would be like working in life. Just I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my dad was a big part of that. He works in sciences, and I just thought, get my foot in the door. I did research preclinical in college, and then when I graduated, I had no idea what I was going to do. I worked in a pharmacy for a long time.
Wow.
And I was a tech, and then I was a tech,
Oh,
and I saw across the parking lot, an opportunity my mom told me about to be a study coordinator. And then from there on, I became
In San Diego, right?
certified. Yeah. In San Diego, I was handed a big regulatory binder just like this, like
Yeah.
this 6-inch. I had no idea what was coming at me, and I was just like, what do I do? What is this? What's a protocol? What's a ICF? All this stuff. And day by day, I had a really good boss. And
Sounds familiar.
yeah. And then I just grew and grew, and I knew San Diego was a big hub in biotech and clinical research, obviously.
Yep.
And my next step was meeting all the CRAs. I fell in love with their work, and I was like, okay,
So how quickly did you go? Farm tech, you're a Bachelor of Science, I'm assuming?
Bachelors of Arts.
Of Art.
Yeah.
Bachelor of Arts and Farm Tech, then CRC. So how long between that, and how long did you have to be a CRC for in order to be a remote monitor?
Yeah, so I did the 2 years required to become certified. That was like required.
Like CCRC.
To become certified as a CCRC.
Okay.
And then from there,
You'll get that.
I went into the CRO world, and then from there I got, selected to start this CRA, the on-site monitoring training. That was in-house training to become an on-site monitor, a CRA. And so that period was 3 months. It was like an accelerated training. I think most of them are like that many months. I had 12 weeks or something. It was like 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I just, you have your phases to get through certain visits. You have your training and sign-offs to get certain visits done, so you can perform them on your own. And so I just did that, and it was like within 4 or 5 months, I was a full-fledged CRA, traveling. I had my site list, and I would just go around. But yeah, I think it was nice because every company came equipped with like their programs. So it was like, it just depends. You want to be aware of that before you get into it, so you're putting yourself in the right place, but also look out for those companies that are like offering that to you, or maybe, talking to people, networking.
Right. Do you remember do you recommend the CRC route? Because I do all the time. CRC is like great stepping stone to basically any career you want. It doesn't have to be CRA, but for most people, it's CRA. Do you recommend the same thing? Or if somebody's like just graduated college, do you think they could jump into CRO if that's what they want? Like, what do you recommend?
Yeah, I think it's so funny because I meet personalities that are different all the time that have the training, and that started from like me from the bottom, like SC, CRA, they went through all the proper channels, the certifications. But then I meet people that are brand new that are doing just as good work as I did at that level, like with, just their personality just picked it up. And I think it depends on what your goal is, and it's different for every person. Your experience is different, your personality, just like we mentioned before, your learning. I think there's so many avenues out there. It's really hard not to achieve it if that's what your goal is. But of course, learning for me, perspective is everything. And so as a study coordinator, I draw back on that so many times. I know what it's like to be a coordinator at the site level with the office door open and a PI walks in, or a subject cancels last minute rescheduling, the day-to-day, that is invaluable to me. So my experience for me it was like the certifications and like the in-house training.
And now that you're remote site monitor, so you don't travel. You're a CRA that doesn't travel. We just had our meeting with our RSM for a study, and they're actually very helpful. We interact with them more than we do the actual monitor who does travel. What's like your goal for your career going forward?
To mentor, to train,
perfect segue,
to share knowledge.
Scoot on over. Let's get you both in the frame, because we're gonna do like a mentorship, like a live, just like quick, like 3-minute mentorship or something. Yeah. Like when you see someone like Daisy, who's got potential and has some experience, but is gaining more. Like every day, she's learning something new. Yeah. What do you like? Let's try some mentorship here, like just to see, for Guru Nation to see.
Yeah. So how long have you been in research as a total?
3 years.
3 years. And how long have you been here?
Here, it's like my second month, I would say. Barely my second month.
Okay. And you started off as a coordinator or?
Coordinator.
Okay. And before that, you had no clinical research experience?
No, just phlebotomy. That's what I was doing before.
Okay. And how has it been for you? Have there been any areas that are trickier than normal, or is it overwhelming?
It can be overwhelming with the queries, all the different sites that we have to access for EDC, right? Electronic data capture and all of that. Submitting all the forms, all that information. I'm still getting familiar with all of that because I didn't have exposure to that in my previous job. As a CRC, everything was more streamlined, so it's really getting your elbows, like let's get
the
deep.
dirt.
So
hands on.
But I like that. Like I really enjoy that and knowing all about it, and I mean, that's kind of how you started off as well. So I see you and I see your example, and that's very exciting because I do want to grow and see how far I can go. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for you, like someone who's just really, I feel like you're very comfortable, you've really had a good grasp on it, I would say use the tools. And like, for me, it would be helpful to take a look at what options are available, like how you're organizing everything and making things accessible, because for us it's all about time saving and efficiency, and having the proper channels in place. Like if there is an issue that you run into, is the escalation pathway there? Like, do you have your support? And so that is all time saving. So when you're working smoothly day to day and everything's going fine, but then as soon as something goes awry, are you supported? Do you feel comfortable? Are you confident?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
so
feel
yeah,
supported.
making sure that those things are like outlined and laid out for you, and then also, you know, making sure you're aware of like what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and then working on those things. Putting yourself in the situations where, you know, you're working on the things that maybe you can grow a little bit in, and having that clearly set out, you know, whether it's quarterly or twice a year, whatever it may be, just checking in with yourself, sitting down with your manager or your mentor and taking a look at, you know, where are some gaps that I can work at? Like being just, because you seem very, very well equipped. You've got a great office, a great boss.
I'm very blessed.
All the resources. So I mean, the sky's the limit. If you want to make it to wherever you want to go, I mean, I don't see any obstacles in your way. It's just a matter of, you know, making sure you are intentional about your day-to-day work. And you know, if it's about studies, like, hey, can I sit in on that meeting, or can I look at that study with that therapeutic area that I'm interested in, or because that helps too, is like the arranged, like the variety of therapeutic areas. So,
all right, we got all that. We got plans, big plans for Daisy and Desiree, who should have been here. She missed out. Desiree, you missed out. She doesn't like being on videos, but she would have been on this one. Everybody go connect right now with Sandra. She gave great advice here. Like, not everyone is going to be at a smaller site. All that advice you gave her, which if you're watching, you have to be in the right place for that. Like, that's why I say small is the new big. I think the smaller clinics, and most people when they finish college, they do the opposite. They're like, oh, I want to work at Harvard. I want to work, you know, because it's awesome. It's prestigious. Even when I say it now, I'm like feeling something inside like, whoa.
no, that's true.
But, you know, at Yuma Clinical Trials or like ABC Research, you might be exactly.
Not all that glitters is gold.
What a good caption. We can do that for Instagram.
And a lot of time people miss opportunities because it's, you know, it's dressed up in overalls and it looks like work. So it's like
That's another good caption.
You want to keep an eye out for those opportunities where you can actually grow and ask questions, and you might be surprised at what you learn. So.
Well, this was awesome. Thank you, Sandra, and thank you, Daisy. Everybody go connect. Sandra's mentoring for free. Amazing.
I'm definitely gonna send her.
A little bit insane too. A
Yeah,
little bit
it's so
insane.
cool to be here and so cool to meet you. I was saying
Likewise.
it's surreal to be here because I followed Dan for so much and for so long, and it's an amazing plus to meet you, Daisy. So I need to be pinched because I don't know if this is like real. This is so cool. I was like crying walking in here. Anyways, I shouldn't talk too much. I'll embarrass myself.
No, thank you, Sandra. It's
Thank
very
you.
nice of you to stop by, and we'll do more before you leave. Unfortunately, you gotta leave Yuma.
Time is ticking, yeah.
You only got a few months, so you're gonna meet the other staff, and we'll do more interaction, more videos with Sandra before she leaves Yuma, and then maybe even after on Zoom we can do some
I'll always
follow-ups.
be available virtually, as nowadays is very common. So
Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Bye bye.